Right, everybody, I'm sure most people are sick of me making EOS videos, and I'll try to not make many more for a little while. I appreciate that I might sound like a broken record talking about EOS being in this accumulation phase, which it is still in this accumulation phase. The white line here at the top here, and the red line here, this is all the accumulation phase. This was the large consolidation phase from the all-time high. We broke out of here into the accumulation phase. Now if we go to the weekly, this is the one thing that we've been looking for a long time. Alright, so the weekly is going to show us when it's time to move. Alright, it's been going down a long period of time, consolidating for a long period of time. So just because it's going down doesn't mean that it's dead. This is the mistake a lot of people make. It doesn't mean that it's dead at all. It just means that it's consolidating after what was an enormous pump. In fact, I think this was one of the biggest pumps outside of XRP of 2017 into 18. It was still rallying while everything else was going down. So, you know, I know people talk about, you know, dead developer scam. It's I'll leave that aside. Let's just talk about the chart. Right, so we've got a consolidation within a consolidation here. We've got a trend within a trend. On the weekly chart is what we're deciding to look at it now, and we've been saying this, the royal we being me, I've been saying this for a very long time. What we need to get, and I know it's not going to be perfect, but it'll mean something to me, is a Ichimoku cloud conversion baseline cross, even if it's below the cloud. Right, the cloud is dissipating, it's getting very small. We're still beneath it. We've rallied and pumped right above it, and obviously got sucked right back down within it. Right, it's not time for it to pump. I'm not saying that this is going to pump immediately. This is never the case, but you know, we're still in the accumulation zone. We are at the upper part of it now. You know, the top level of the accumulation being this zone here, around $3.90. Breaking above there, holding above there, will then start to show a bold, in my opinion, a bold recovery of this asset. So we might be looking at that perhaps next week. What we need to do is close this candle here. Would be great. Would be above this consolidation phase, a consolidation within the consolidation. And we'll be edging our way closer to the top of this cloud. And if we close above here, there is a chance that we will get this. You can't really see it. You see this blue line and this red line? That's the conversion, that's the baseline. We're looking for this to make a cross on the weekly. Alright, I know it's beneath the cloud and it's not a perfect signal at all, but it can be used, and I would be willing to, you know, expect it to count for something, and then we could start to make those stair steps up. Alright, so we've been through it many times, but just to recap, these are the zones that we're interested in. The first zone clearly being the resistance top here, where we were like pop, and probably find a rejection there this time. Probably. The only reason I say probably is because we've done it so many times in the past, so probably. But you know, being rejected there is not, that's not the issue, that's not the problem. You know, the problem, it's not even a problem. The expectation is that we will get rejected there, but where will we come back down to is the main question. So if we were to get that weekly conversion baseline cross, it would suggest that the weekly is now gearing up for a possible, it's not a perfect signal of course, but a possible uptrend, sustainable uptrend. We saw this on XRP. We got a cross within the cloud, alright, and I said, look, this hasn't done this for a very long time, alright. This could mean a big move in the weeks to come. Actually, it was literally days after. So when XRP had a similar cross, and these charts look very similar, they do look very similar. They're not related in any way. It's just the formation is very similar. So the signature, I will say, is likely to have a similar kind of relevance to it. So when I said this is the ultimate buy signal on XRP, it was a weekly Ichimoku conversion baseline cross on the weekly. So, but it wasn't perfect. But it ended up causing, well, not causing, but those who played that, like myself, ended up, you know, riding a massive move, which from the bottom to the top was about 170% move in a very short space of time. So all I'm saying is that, you know, we're looking to get a similar kind of signature, which would suggest a similar kind of uptrend. I don't want it to be like XRP, but it could end up being quite close to that. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a 100% move, and everybody's like watching EOS going, "What happened? I thought the developer left and it was dead. I thought EOS was a silly token that just goes down. That's what people tell me on Twitter." Well, yeah, I mean, it has been going right down, and that's true. No one's disputing that. But the idea is, you know, where's it going to go from here? And those, I suppose, who look at these things like me on a longer term time frame, are looking for reversals. We're not looking at this and going, I'm going to buy e-gold because it's going up. I'm going to buy Polkadot because that's the future. Look, those trades are all very well and good, but for me personally, I prefer to look at something which has got historical price action to it. Doesn't mean that it's going to be a bigger mover than something like e-gold or Polkadot, but for me it makes it more reliable in basically balancing my risk. I don't want to buy something that's breaking out and continues to break out and will continue to break out. It may go up forever, for a lifetime, and never pull back. For me, that's a bit too risky. For me, I like to find a chart which has got some kind of rhythm to it. This one certainly has rhythm. Look at this bottom. It's been going on for a very long time, a whole year in fact, this bottom, which has given us every opportunity to accumulate. But the accumulation zone for me took place when we broke through this white line here, which is the large consolidation top. And so buying in this zone here, which is what I've been doing, is for me the area to be buying in, and still technically the area to buy in. I'm not a financial advisor, this is by no means financial advice. This is an accumulation zone of a giant range, which to me would suggest that when it actually starts going, it will be a really big range, and there'll be some really big gains. The larger the accumulation zone, the more volatile the accumulation zone, usually the larger the expected move will be. So in my opinion, once this makes its way above this zone, it wouldn't take too long for it to smash up to this zone. And from the price that we are at as of today, that would be a 62% move. So I suppose that's not enormous, is it? In the grand scheme of things, we see those sort of things quite frequently these days now, don't we? But this is just step one. Once the trend has turned to a bullish trend, stage 2 would be around about these zones. So that's about 100% to perhaps about 129%. And over time, like I say, I'm trading this on a weekly chart. All right, this is a weekly, so. Come on to my channel, you can say whatever you want, you can leave whatever comment you like, I don't mind, but bear in mind I'm trading it on a weekly chart, okay? So the added component here as part of the price obviously is one thing, but the other thing that you need to bear in mind is time. All right, time is very important on this trade. Time will tick along, and you will probably see an underperforming asset. But when it's ready to go and the bullish formation begins and it continues, then these targets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and beyond, by the end of the year, if trend permits, which I expect it will, maybe even a new all-time high. So we're talking areas above $20, maybe $28. Who knows? We talk about price targets as and when they're hit, and supports when we revisit them. So every single move has to be looked upon as in what's next, where are we going? What's next? Where are we going? So for me, if I was to leave like a clickbait title, which I might do, I might just do that now. Just it's a clickbait title of EOS to $28. That's a valid target, but incrementally, that's how we're going to view this. We're waiting for the uptrend to begin. It looks like the uptrend could begin sooner rather than later, but it is on a weekly time frame, which means that weeks will have to go by before we meet those targets. Months, to be honest, for those top targets. But certainly I would expect within the year, which obviously we're only in February now, so that's still another 10 months, isn't it? So it's a long-term time frame to reach those top targets, and the uptrend hasn't yet started. But I'm just letting you know, I am a believer in this chart. You know that, and I will try not to make any more videos on this. Maybe when it breaks out, I'll make something to explain it to everybody. But other than that, I will leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.